Thanks. My name is Mike Taylor. I'm in Columbus, Ohio. I work at Nationwide Insurance and also teach in Franklin University's Instructional Design Technology program. I'd like to start with kind of a quick question for everybody. So, if you had to bet your paycheck on one team to grab people's attention and get them to spark to action, which would you put your money on? Would you put your money on the L&D team, or would you put your whole paycheck on the marketing team? So I'm curious to see what kind of answers we get over in the chat. And let's see, a lot of marketing teams over there. So if you felt sort of that hesitation or uncomfortableness as you were considering that response, that's kind of our biggest challenge. And so let's take a few minutes and unpack that a little bit and look at our question of the day, which is how do we design impactful learning experiences in 2026? And I would say to answer that, we have to start with attention. So most of the training we build never even really gets a chance. It gets filtered out before people even think about it. And that's not because they don't care. It's not because the content is bad, but because it never makes it past our brain's spam filter. Most training is aimed at logic, kind of what psychologists call system two. But system two is not the part of our brain that decides what gets through and what we pay attention to. That job belongs to system one, which is super fast, emotional, intuitive part of our mind. And system one, this is important, system one gets to make the first call on everything. Like I said, it's fast, emotional, intuitive, and it's always scanning for one single thing. And the thing that it's always scanning for is, do I care about this? If the answer is no, then your message never gets to the part of the brain that can learn and remember and act upon anything we're trying to do. And that's an important truth. A majority of training we build for system two, but it's being judged by system one. So there's a mismatch there. So if we want our work to stick and to have impact, we need to flip that order a bit and think about attention first, meaning next, and then we can get to action. So let me try to help you picture what that might look like in real life a little bit. Imagine it's the end of the day, it's 4:58, you're shutting down, your brain's already halfway home, and then you hear the ding of a new incoming email. And so you take a glance and the subject line says, Q1 compliance training, now available in the LMS. We've all probably seen some version of that, probably tons of things just like that, right? It doesn't have any context. There's no hook, really no reason to care. And if we think about that system one, our brain spam filter, it takes one look at that and it's like, nope, not going to do that today. And you already kind of know what's inside of that email. It's a link to a 30 or 45-minute course that's packed with the best of intentions and about 300 or so bullet points. So what do people do? Most people, they close it. They think, oh, I'll get to it later. And if we're honest, later probably never comes. So if we kind of shift gears, and if we imagine maybe now a marketer stepping into that same moment, they would approach it very differently. First of all, instead of Q1 compliance, you'd get a subject line, something more along the lines of, could a 60-second mistake really cost us $500,000? And it would come with a quick snapshot of the actual mistake or the slip up. Might have a human face or something that gives us a feeling or an emotion. The most important thing they would do is it would give us a reason to care. So hopefully you can see it's the same topic. They have the same goal, but it's a completely different reaction, because only one of those versions is going to make it through our brain's spam filter, and only one of those has a chance to get through to the brain where we can remember and learn and apply whatever we're learning in your message. And that's where it gets interesting for all of us, right? People are overwhelmed. Attention is scarce. It's hard to come by. And the thing that marketers do differently is they recognize that. They don't fight it. They design for it, and they actually earn people's attention. And they do that by speaking the language that that spam filter of our brain listens for. Same kind of language we just heard in that example, something personal, something visual. Tom was just talking about a whole bunch of things that were System 1 friendly. So it's those type of attention triggers. You can kind of see 6 of those on the slide that our marketers use all the time. And the coolest, best part of all of this is it's free. It doesn't cost anything. It's simple. You can start using this today. And so those 6 attention triggers do that kind of work for us. And if you can use even just 2 or 3 of them, you're probably going to make your training a lot harder to ignore. And if there's one other piece that goes along with this, even the best messages won't stick if people only hear them one time. So the old way of launching a course once and hoping for the best is not a strategy. It's actually a prayer or a hope. And that's why we don't just build courses. That's why marketers don't just build one ad and sit back and see what happens. So we build campaigns. Campaigns don't bet everything on one moment. They win through repetition and timing and variety. And every touch point is another chance for your message to get past that spam filter. And that's the shift that really sets us up for 2026, which brings us back to the big question. So how do we design impactful learning experiences in 2026? We design for how people actually pay attention, not how we hope they pay attention. We borrow what works from the marketers. We build and speak to the brain's spam filter first and their thinking part second. And we stop launching one and done events and we start running learning campaigns. That's how you get attention. That's how you get action. And that's how you train like a marketer.